Okay. So next is R out. R out is R naught 2 plus AV naught 2 into R naught 1. Same thing we have already computed. So I can directly write the answer. R out as 640 kilo ohm. Already we have done previously. Then last one RD1. RD1 is R out 1 parallel R into R out 1 parallel R into. You know that RD1 is a drain resistance. Drain resistance at the drain terminal of Q1, which will be nothing but the parallel combination of the output resistance of the first stage as well as the input resistance of the second stage. So both will come parallel as per the equivalent circuit is considered. So 20 parallel 1.3, R into is 1.3 and R out is R out 1 is 20. So 20 parallel 1.3 is 20 into 1.3 by 20 plus 1.3, that is 1.22. Now you have everything with you, right? As per this particular equation is considered, the unknowns were RD1, R out. Yes, that's it. RD1 and R out. So to find this RD1 and R out, you have computed R out 1 and R into. So all the two parameters is now with you. Now you can substitute this R out and RD1, R out and RD1 in this equation and proceed. So this is the equation for tau h. Tau h is equal to R sig into. So write this equation, all of you. Substitute all the parameters given in the question as well as the parameter that you have calculated just now. That is the resistances R out and RT1. What is R out? R out is 640 kilo ohm and RD1 is 1.22 kilo ohm. R sig is, what is R sig? It is 10 kilo ohm. So 10 into 20 plus CGD1 is 5. 5 into 1 plus 1.25 into RL. RL is again, what is RL? This is of case A, right? Check your question. For case A, RL is 20. That is what is being written here. The first term 10 into 10 is R sig into CGS is 20. So 20 plus 5 into 1 plus 1.25 into 20. So after substituting, check whether you are getting the same answer. What about the second term? If you see the second term, RD1, RD1 is 1.22. So 1.22 multiplied by CGD1 plus CDB1 plus CGS2. So 5 plus 5 plus 20. Plus the third term is RL parallel R out. RL is 20 kilo ohm for this particular case. Parallel R out is 640. So 20 parallel 640 into, again we are having the three capacitance 5 plus 5 plus 20. I mean 5 plus 5 plus 5. All the three are 5. Only CGS is 20. So 5 plus 5 plus 5. So that will make you 653 picoseconds for tau h. So once you get this answer, so no need for conversion. Please remember, no need for converting this femtofarad into farad and all, because it is understood that the resistance is in kilo ohm and the capacitance is in femtofarad, which means the time constant will be in picosecond. So after that, you can substitute in our equation to compute FH. Now you will convert pico into seconds by multiplying it with 10 to the power minus 12. Then you will get an answer in hertz. Convert it to megahertz by dividing it with 10 to the power 6. So this will be your answer. Now compare this answer with your previous answer. That is a cutoff frequency of the CS amplifier. That is 155 has now become what? 244. Right? 155 has become 244. So that condition has been violated, isn't it? That is actually what we are expecting. If gain is to be increased, bandwidth has to be decreased. Previously, your gain has increased by 1.88 times, right? That is the common source amplifier. It was how much? It was for common source. It was 12 point something, right? Yes, 12.5. And for cascade amplifier, you got the gain is 23.5. So obviously the gain has increased. But here, if you see the frequency, the cutoff frequency FH of a common source amplifier is 155 megahertz, but the cascade amplifier, the cutoff frequency has increased. So that constancy doesn't maintain here. The product has not constant for this particular case, that is case A, if there is a significant RSIC. Now coming to case B, if RSIC is neglected. Okay, and from these two analysis of case A and case B, you should tell me which resistance I should maintain as RSIC. If I need to neglect this RSIC or whether I need to fix a high value of RSIC in order to achieve the property. What is the property? The gain bandwidth product is to be maintained as a constant for an amplifier. That is, if you are increasing the gain, the bandwidth will decrease, but that will happen only for a particular case. Anyway, this has not happened for case A, that is when RSIC is a finite value. Now let us check what happens when RSIC is neglected. So in that also, first we will take our first configuration, that is common source amplifier. The equation for voltage gain is same, minus GM into RL parallel R0, no change for that and all. RL is 20. For a common source, RL is 20. Please remember the constraint for case B, RL is 20 for common source, whereas for cascade amplifier, it is different. So 20 parallel 20, so it will retain the same gain, that is minus 12.5, even though we neglect RSIC. Now coming to the 3 dB cutoff frequency, if you see the general expression of the previous case, we have three terms, right? So in this, we will neglect the first term, RSIC will be 0. Here also you can substitute RSIC is equal to 0. So the remaining terms will only be considered to compute the tau h value, understood? So neglecting RSIC, you have written this particular equation, take down that. That is, if you take the general equation, in that general equation, you will substitute RSIC is equal to 0, and then you have rewritten the equation. And in this, we'll substitute the parameters given and find the frequency tau h. Is the concept is clear for you? See, this entire question and all, it won't ask for your question, examination, only a part. Maybe I will be asking you only for the case A. Okay, in case A, you need to compare it in the terms of frequency, FH only. Maybe I will skip the gain. Okay, they'll be asking you to compare the cutoff frequency FH for case B. That is without RSIC, how you can compare the performance of the cascade amplifier and the common source amplifier in terms of the cutoff frequency FHLO. So, but this question, it will have the entire thing. So from this question, they will be asking few parts. Okay, maybe half of case A or second half of case A, or maybe second half of case B, like that. But you should be able to know the concept. That is, from case A, it is understood that Even if we increase the gain, the bandwidth has no effect. Still, the bandwidth has increased. But we will see whether the case B, that is neglecting the resistance RSig, will have some effect on gain and bandwidth. That we're going to check now. So neglecting RSig will get you the value of tau h as 150 picoseconds. So from that you can calculate FH. It is 1.06 gigahertz. Okay. Now, so with this we finished CS of case B. Now going for cascode amplifier. In cascode amplifier, they were asked to take RL value as R out. R out already we have computed, that is 640. So this is given in the question. We need to take RL as R out itself. So R out is given as 640 kilo ohm. So you can directly take our formula, substitute. Already we have computed this, so no need to rewrite again and again. So AV naught already we have done. So that value you can take 775. Already we have computed the individual gain, right? And we have computed the product also. So the voltage gain has increased to 388 from, for CS, what was the gain? 12.5. So from 12.5, the gain has increased to 388. After that, the last parameter, that is frequency FH. So for that, we will find tau h. So this is a general expression of tau h after setting RSig equal to 0. Actually, there are three terms, but in that term, I have neglected the effect of RSig and I have rewritten this equation. You can compare it with the actual expression, that is the previous case. So in the previous case, I had three terms. So in that, I have set RSig is equal to 0. After setting RSig is equal to 0, I got this particular equation. And then I'm substituting all the parameters. So no need to find all these. But yeah, of course, this I need to find because RL is different for this particular case. So you need to find R into. So R into is 1 divided by, this and all it is same, plus RL. RL is 640 for this particular case divided by AB naught 2, that is the voltage gain of the second stage, that is common gate 31. So after substituting, we got 21.3 as R into. Then RD1 is R out parallel R into RD. R out is 20 kilo ohms, so 20 parallel 21.3, that is 10.3. Now everything is with you. RD1 is also with you, and R out is also with you. So you can substitute here. So the frequency is 31.2 megahertz. That is, it has decreased, right? Before it was what? 1.06 gigahertz. So from 1.06 gigahertz, your frequency has decreased to 31.2 megahertz. So bandwidth has decreased. At the same time, gain has increased. Now let us find that factor, the multiplication factor. Can you help me? What is the multiplication factor in the gain that you have experienced? Compare the gain 12.5 and 388. What is the multiplication factor? 388 divided by 12.5. Please. 388 divided by 12.5. Yes. 31, right? So the gain has increased by 31 times. For a CS amplifier, it is 12.5. For a cascode, it is 388. Now, similarly, you compare the frequency 31.2 megahertz and what is the other one? Yes, 1.06 gigahertz. Yes, if you multiply this 31.2 with 31, you will have 970.3, something like that. That will be close to 1 gigahertz, right? Isn't it, students? Are you following me? Please respond. Are you following me or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So whatever the multiplication factor you got in the gain, the same factor will be acting as a dividing factor here, right? That is, if you see the cutoff frequency of a CS amplifier, it was 1.06 gigahertz. So if you divide this 1.06 with 31, that multiplication factor, your answer will be close to 31.2 megahertz. So the conclusion is the gain bandwidth product remains constant only for which particular case? Only for RSig is equal to 0 case. So whenever you are neglecting RSig or whenever you are placing a small resistance value at the input terminal, that is a signal resistance. So in that case, you can maintain this particular property. So that is a conclusion. The same thing we have seen in the derivation also, right? That is, after neglecting RSig, we have written the equation for cutoff frequency. Then we have compared that equation with the CS, and then we have drawn the graph previously. So that thing we have shown in this numerical analysis. So case B is very much significant than case A, because case A, we don't have that much effect because we have considered a finite value of R6. So that will not decrease your bandwidth. Okay, so both gain and bandwidth are increasing. So that won't be suitable for some applications. Okay. Whereas for the second case, if we are neglecting RSig, then the increasing gain will correspondingly decrease your bandwidth or cutoff frequency. So that is the inference of this particular numerical problem. So this is very important. Kindly practice this n number of times so that you can answer this question. Okay, so it is very important. Need not necessary that you will get this question as such. Maybe I will be giving a part of case B. Okay, by only with RL is equal to R out or RL equal to R0. By changing these values, you will be getting the question. Okay, or I will be asking you to prove that the gain bandwidth product remains constant only for case B and not for case A, like that. Okay, so this is the concept of cascode amplifier. So the conclusion of cascode amplifier is, if we are setting a very small value of RSig, or if RSig is negligibly very small, then we can attain the property that the property is gain bandwidth product of the amplifier is a constant. That is, whatever factor that you are having multiplied in the gain parameter, the same factor is acting as a dividing parameter in the bandwidth. That means if you are getting 30 times increase in the gain, then 30 times will be the decrease that you are observing in the bandwidth. That is a peculiar property of a cascode amplifier, but that is evident only in which case? In case B, that is when RSig is negligibly. Okay, that's it for the today's class, students. Thanks for joining. Kindly practice it properly.